Welcome back. This is going to be a two-part lesson because this lesson is going to be big. First thing first, before we begin, this is troubling me for a long time. So let me just copy this, paste this, clean this up, and all I need for this to be shown there is copy this ID, and it will start working. And remove this. I don't need this anymore. So just some cleanup and this should work now. Yes, this looks better. This looks much better now. Yes, total is 200. It's quite visible. For now, this looks good. Okay, so coming back, now you need to delete this. Okay, before we go into this, let me tell you this. We have covered looping, but we did not cover for loop. We have covered everything, function, loops, all of it, but we did not do if. This is the time we learn about if and how if works. So what happens when you do 2000 and you do a movie and you add? Now you will click delete on this. You'll click delete on this. This is not working right now, but understand this. When you click delete on this, this is coming from an array, and then array you will go and search which item you need to delete. And how will you search? You will give ID to these items, and you will search from that whether this is the t-shirt or the movie, what is not working. Let's see how we do that. We do that very simply. We'll build upon things, okay, this time. So this is going to be a two-part thing. First thing first, let's understand how this works. So first thing is, this button is here, but it has no on click method. You see that, right? There is no on click method on this. That's why there is no click listening. So what you can do here very simply, very easily, is you can assign an on-click method on this, and this is another way of doing assigning on-click. We saw one way of document dot query selector and then assign click to it. This is another way. So what you do is you say on-click delete item. So this will delete item on click. Now there's no function called delete item. So if you, I am not doing it. So let's say controller functions delete items, delete items. Okay, these are controller functions here, but this is just to get date. Some cleanup always, get date string. Okay, delete item. So function delete item. It's not items, it's item. Delete item, and then you say console.log delete item was called. Let's see if this works. Refresh 200 something. Yes, you see this delete item is being called. This console.log is not useful for us anymore, so we will remove that. It's just taking, this is the console.log. Let's remove this. Now let's see again. 200 ts added delete item was called. So this is working. Now if we have one more and we add delete item is being called, suppose we add the same thing, one more. So you have all the visual elements same, right? But it's still different. I will show you how. So you have all expenses. If you see all expenses and you see 0 and say 0 is anywhere different, say 1 and 2 are exactly same, but the moment is different. This is 19, 8, 38, 25 and 21. So with the date object you can always find different unique key, unique value between 3 or 4 values or 10 values or 100 values. So we'll use that to our advantage. When this will be clicked, we'll use this to our advantage to find out what item was clicked. And to do that, what we need to do here is we need to just say that, just pass the moment dot to string, and moment dot to string is a built-in function. So, and take the date string here, so when you do that, you can print it, say date string, save it, clear this, clear this, refresh this, and when you do amount spent, say 400 on something, add, and you click on this, it says, oh, missing after argument list. What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? So let me see if this button is being rendered properly. So if I see the button and if I see the on click method, it has delete item, Sunday, India Standard Time. I think there is no string with it, and that is creating the problem. So what you need to do is, actually what we can do is we can use another date thing called date mdn. There's something called to get the tick. This has, yes, exactly this. So this has number of milliseconds between January 1st. So your date starts from 1970 and the given date. So this will always be unique. And what's the return type? I don't remember the return type. Syntax. The return value is a number. How to check what's the return type of something? I'll show you. This could be a good learning. Okay, first of all, let me have a date, say const date now equals new date. Okay, now all we need is now dot value of. If we call this, we get this. Now what's the type of this? If you want to know what's the type of this, you do this now dot value of, and it's giving a function right now. See, because the value of is a function, but once you call the function, it's a number. You see this changing here? Don't tell me you don't find this exciting. This is very nice. I mean, this, you understand how it is changing, right? So if you see now, it is an object, date object. If you see value of, it's a function, and once you call the function, you get the type of return. So that's number. This is a number, and so this is what we need now dot value of. Let's use this instead of using the toString function, which is giving a problem because it's adding another what do you call this bracket here. So let's do this. Let's use dot value of, and this way we get here date value and to date value. Let's see if this works. This has become like a trial and error, but actual coding is also like that. I think you should learn how to do all this, how to go through, just skim through the documentation, find what you need, and do all of this. I think this brings more value to the tables. That's why I'm not cutting it out. So 400 spent on what? Say ts, and you do add. That's fine. This is working. Yes, delete item was called, and we have a number here. So now the second part arrives, right? You have this date value. How will you find out which one is this? Which of the all expenses item has this? That's very simple. We'll loop on it. And how do we loop? We loop on by using a for loop. So let's see how for loop works. For any of the syntax, go and check the MDN docs. For this, just check how this works. So all expenses in object is an array, and it has a length property, and you can loop through it like this. So keep seeing and keep typing right now. All you need to do is this. So you have all of this now. All the items in all expenses is here. What do? You say you just need to find out which of this all expense item. So the all expense current item in the loop is used by I. So you have all expenses, and if you have more than one variable, say now if you have all expenses, you have two. Suppose you have one more, you have oh my god, so many now. See, 4. Now if you want to go to the second item, you just say for 1. So you go to the second item. If you want to go to the last item, you say 3 and you go to the last item. There's one other way of going to the last item, and that is all expenses dot length. And this also will go to the last item, but it's saying undefined because length, you have to go length minus 1. So you see this is the last item, TSSS 400. So this is something about array. If you want to go, you go through the index starts with 0 and ends with length minus 1. Good learning. Now how to loop over an array. This is how you loop over an array. So all we need to do, for let's just break it down very small items. All we need to do is just print this. Just print this and see how this works. Okay, and we do value of this. Okay, and we have already have the date value there. So let's just do this and do nothing else and do nothing else. Okay, so we have amount spent, say 500 on something, and we have 5,000 on something else. Okay, and we have 50,000 on an iPhone. Maybe iPhones are not that cheap, but yeah, let's go ahead. And you have all of this, and then you clear this. You say, hey, this I don't need. Okay, so now you have this, right? You have 3 items, and you say delete. Okay, so when the delete was pressed, this all happened. First, this delete item was called, then the loop started. It went through the first item, the second item, the third item. The first item is TS, SLDD, and iPhone, and it is also printing the value of. The problem with the value of is this is wrong, right? This is just the array, and we wanted the array moment value, and this is where I did a poo-poo. No problem. Learning. So value of an object, all expenses array. If you list take one item, it's an object. Value of an object is the entire object being getting printed. We don't want that. We want the value of moment to be printed. So let's do this entire experiment again, thanks to me. If you guys get frustrated with this, let me know, and then I'll edit these parts, the parts where I go wrong. But I think it adds value. It shows that we make mistakes and we find out what is going wrong. Trousers. See, I come from somewhere where it is called pant. So, and then you have iPhone. So no problem, iPhone. Okay, so now same thing. If I click on this, see it's saying the delete item was called for the last number 726. So we have 3 items, 235, 726, 280. All are unique. All we need to now do is say where the delete item was called and find that delete item, right? So we can iterate over the items. Now only we need to find the delete item. So the item to be deleted, what we do is we say if all expenses I moment value of is equal to date value, then console.log item found, and then you print the item. And how do you print the item? You print it like this. Okay, this sounds good, this looks good. Let's try this, if this works or not. If we refresh it now, we say 200 TS add, we say 2000 TSS add, we say TSX add. So we have 3 items, and if we click on the second item, it should print the second item, and it is printing the second item, TSS item found. So see, with for and if loop, we can find out which item is getting deleted in the array, but still it is not being deleted. How do we delete this? That we'll see in the next video. So we'll see how to delete this, how to get out of it, and how to re-render this after getting deleted. All of it in the next video. Hope you enjoyed this lesson. If you are frustrated with all my experimentations on the course, let me know. I still think it adds value because you understand that even a coder at Microsoft makes such silly mistakes, and how to find those mistakes and resolve those. Thank you so much. Bye bye.